Truman and his wife, Patricia, were startled awake by an unusual sound, suspecting an intruder had entered their home. So they cautiously descended the stairs to investigate, only to discover it was a young woman who had fallen asleep on their sofa after attending a party the previous night. Truman recognized her as one of his clients who had lingered after the event. He roused her and advised her to get up. On this specific occasion, he instructed Patricia to prepare a meal for an important client who was visiting. Patricia was not enthusiastic about these frivolous get-togethers, but Truman was hopeful that this deal would enable them to settle their debts and mortgage. Truman decided to invest in an expensive new vehicle to impress the client. Patricia was annoyed by his expenditure, especially considering their heavy debt load, but Truman dismissed her concerns, suggesting she should remain at home rather than seek employment. Following that, we encounter Alex Weston, a wealthy entrepreneur married to Marina. The Weston family was so engrossed in their professional lives that they hardly noticed their son or the upkeep of their home. When Belle brought up Robbie's upcoming birthday, they merely directed her to convey their best wishes. Robbie caught wind of this exchange and felt disappointed, but Belle managed to lift his spirits with a surprise cake and gift. However, his joy was short-lived when he faced rejection from his crush at school. Feeling low, he chose to skip class and drive away. Upon discovering this, Alex imposed a grounding on Robbie and confiscated his car keys as a consequence for his absence from school, emphasizing the significance of academic performance for admission to a prestigious university. At the same time, Truman was entertaining a high-profile client, Manson, during a dinner, aiming to finalize a crucial agreement. Yet Manson was more interested in flirting with Patricia and making inappropriate advances towards her. When Patricia sought assistance from Truman, he advised her to comply with the situation to secure the deal. Consequently, Patricia had to set aside her dignity and allow Manson to belittle her. The following day, Truman discovered that despite his best efforts, the deal had been awarded to Alex. His employer had deemed Alex more beneficial to the company. Truman was heartbroken and returned home to inform Patricia of the unfortunate outcome. A few days later, on a Sunday, Truman unexpectedly returned to the office, overwhelmed by despair, and took his own life with a firearm. The janitor stumbled upon his body, leaving Patricia utterly shattered. After Truman's demise, Patricia approached his employer to inquire about the life insurance policy, but he indifferently informed her that it was null and void due to the act of suicide. Fueled by a desire for retribution, Patricia managed to retrieve crucial information from Truman's office computer. Her initial act of retribution involved arriving at Manson's residence to assassinate him during the day, followed by her surveillance of Alex and his relatives. She managed to infiltrate their lives by posing as a tutor for Robbie, utilizing a fabricated school letter. Under the alias of Amanda, Patricia managed to secure a room at the Weston's guest house by charming the young Robbie. Once she had established her presence, she would often take Robbie to school in revealing attire, subtly influencing the young boy's innocence. Concurrently, Patricia built a rapport with Marina to acquire confidential information about the family. She also offered to assist with household tasks to earn their trust. Unbeknownst to the Weston family, Patricia was scheming her twisted retribution against Truman's fall from grace, gradually uncovering Marina's addiction to anti-anxiety medication. Patricia began surreptitiously adding drugs to Marina's beverages to sabotage her well-being. One night, while Robbie was playing basketball in the yard, he accidentally caught a glimpse of Patricia changing in the guest house through the window. The nosy youngster couldn't resist peeping further. Patricia sensed his odd gazes but initially feigned ignorance, even mocking him slightly before Belle the housekeeper discovered Robbie's intrusive behavior and reprimanded him for his invasion of privacy. The following day, with Belle and Alex occupied with work and Marina away, Patricia seized the opportunity to enter Robbie's room. She warned him about the ongoing surveillance, advising him to simply ask if he needed anything. The young rebel fell for her charm and followed her to her bedroom, where she assured him she would impart all her knowledge. Patricia and Robbie spent a few moments together. Afterward, Patricia engaged in a casual conversation with Alex before returning to her room. It was then she noticed Belle installing new blinds on the window. This incident led Patricia to believe the elderly woman needed to be removed. While Belle was alone at home doing her laundry, Patricia sneaked into the house and quietly made her way to the basement. She set up a trap with thin wire as a trip line and removed all the light bulbs to create complete darkness. Tragically, Belle fell down those dark stairs, tripped over the wire, and suffered a severe neck injury. Upon Robbie's return from school, Patricia was overjoyed with his improved academic performance, attributing it to her unique tutoring sessions. They reconnected before Marina arrived. Yelling Belle's name in vain, she discovered Belle's lifeless body in the basement. What a nightmare. The police arrived and removed Belle's body, leaving Marina devastated over losing her housekeeper. That evening, Patricia consoled Alex, who was deeply affected by the incident. While they played pool, she made a move on him, suggesting it would help him relax and distract him from the pain. They spent some time together, while Robbie, who was unfortunate enough to witness them, felt betrayed. However, when Patricia noticed Robbie's suspicion, she feigned that Alex was assaulting her, hoping it would drive Robbie to resent his father even more. Subsequently, Patricia offered her assistance with household chores while Belle was away. She continued to tamper with Marina's beverages and even contacted the pharmacy under a false identity to secure more medication. Marina's condition deteriorated further as Patricia insinuated herself more deeply into the family dynamics. Patricia visited Robbie's room and outright fabricated a story that Alex had sexually assaulted her at the pool party to sway Robbie against his father. She also prepared another coffee laced with drugs, subtly suggesting that the property she was renovating would be completed soon. Marina appreciated Patricia's companionship, but began to experience symptoms of dizziness and nausea after consuming the spiked drink. On a stormy evening, Robbie bid farewell to Patricia as he embarked on his college journey in another state. They spent a brief moment together before Robbie's departure. In the meantime, Marina found herself isolated at home, panicking over strange phone calls and the electricity failing during a severe downpour. She reached for a knife, convinced there was an intruder in the basement, only to discover it was Alex returning home and inadvertently scared her, nearly causing an accident with the knife. She attempted to alert him about Patricia's suspicious behavior, but he dismissed her concerns. The following day, Alex spotted Patricia's vehicle matching the one Truman had driven. He sifted through Truman's archived items at the office and discovered a picture of him and Patricia, which led him to the truth about this tutor. Alex's supervisor confirmed that she was indeed Truman's widow. Alex was completely flustered and attempted to contact Marina, but to no avail, so he dialed the police to come and save her from this deranged woman. Upon returning home, Patricia had bound Marina and was administering drugs to make her death appear as a suicide. Right before she could complete the act, Alex burst in just in time. With her secret exposed, Patricia confessed to the affair with Robbie and her elaborate scheme of revenge. Alex was so furious he struck her hard across the face and pushed her, causing her to tumble out the window. The police arrived, but Patricia had already fled. They soothed the couple who were visibly shaken and ensured their well-being and safety. That evening, Weston received a message from Robbie stating he was doing well and settling into college life. This was some much-needed positive news after the harrowing experience. However, in a shocking turn of events, the message abruptly switched to Robbie in his dorm room, with Patricia waiting for him under the sheets, revealing that this disturbed individual had also been involved with their son. This was a truly chaotic situation, and the movie concluded with it.